Or we now call Jenna Ray Horn in cause number 25.
And here she is, Jenna Ray Horn, walking into court with a felony on her back. Assault on a public servant. Folks, that's not just a slap on the wrist crime. That's the kind of charge judges take very seriously.
DCCR 289. That's you?
Inside.
Here with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. As you know, you are charged with the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant, which carries with it up to 10 years in prison. Earlier, you...
Quick legal breakdown. A third-degree felony in Texas can mean anywhere from 2 to 10 years behind bars. But here's the kicker. The DA and defense already struck a deal to cap it at 5 years maximum. So the judge's hands aren't completely free.
Was the defendant entered the plea already?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's not on the
She entered a plea, yes. The
Earlier.
pre-sentence report was ordered by the court.
Yeah, I've got all of that. But there's nothing on the jacket that shows she pled guilty. You've entered a plea of guilty to the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. A pre-sentence report has been prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it? Are there any corrections or changes to it? Can you tell me what date she entered, Jenna Ray Horn, in 25 DCCR 289, entered a plea of guilty, please? It didn't make it on the jacket or anything.
You lied there, well, that's why I believe it was the date. I don't have anything in writing. On that day, that's what I was over my family.
Could it have been June? No, July?
My file shows July 11th.
7 is cut off. Okay. It looks
believe
like
that's
I've got
correct, Judge,
papers
but
in here dated 7/11/2025. The agreement that you entered into was that whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years in prison. So we are looking at
Okay, let's pause. If you were the judge, what would you lean toward? Minimum 2 years. I'll push closer to 5. Drop your thoughts in the comments before we hear what happens next.
no less than 2, no more than 5 years confinement in prison, deferred or unadjudicated probation can be assessed. She looks like she has a final conviction out of Jasper County for evading arrest, but she can still get regular probation from the court, but
Yes.
not a jury of Lynn. Okay, those are your options. Go ahead, Mr. Grove. And the pre-sentence report has been prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it, or are there any corrections or changes to it? State?
Not for the
And
state.
defense.
Judge, and this is not a change, it's just something that I noticed on page 2,
Yeah.
restitution issues. It says restitution issues, and there are none. I believe there is a restitution issue, but it was not part of the plea bargain, restitution be paid. So I'm not objecting to that. I just want to make sure that I'm not waiving anything because I think restitution may be applicable.
I don't show any requested by the complainant in my, oh, wait, yes, I did, hold on. Amount of loss. This is not even the right person.
I believe
Nothing in my file, Judge.
I believe, Judge, what happened was a letter was sent out by Mr. Giblin saying that, you know, if you have any restitution, send it in or something like that. I have not seen a number.
There's
No restitution.
no restitution.
However, there is restitution involved in the case.
Restitution. Basically paying money to the victim for their losses. But here's the problem. Without a clear dollar amount, courts can't just wave a magic wand and assign one. Paperwork matters in law.
And well, just to get into it, because on page let's see,
You're talking about the pre-sentence
The
report.
pre-sentence report, yes, sir.
And that's made a part of the record for all purposes.
Yes, sir. And this is not an objection to that, but that there was an analysis made by the complainant who basically, I guess, said that talked about how much that this case had changed her, and that now she could no longer work as a registered nurse because of this, and she was having to pay daily records to pay restitution and medical damages from this. So there's not a number that's mentioned in here. The probation officer did not put one in.
Miss Ramirez or Melanie Ramirez was.
Office showing.
See,
They get it from us, Judge, and if we get a request in from the complaining witness, we send out a letter, say, if you have anything, send it to us. And I didn't show anything in my file that
I know,
says.
but the pre-sentence report clearly says she's got medical.
Well, she says she did, but they have to send in something for us to be able to give them out,
Then-
Judge.
Okay. In addition to the physical and emotional impact this assault has had, I have suffered significant financial loss due to medical bills, missed work, co-pays, etc. As I struggle to work overtime to pay medical bills
I'll double check
and
it
go
and see
to
if she's got
therapy
anything
to
in.
heal from the trauma.
Did you catch that? The victim, a registered nurse, flat out asked the judge to lock Jenna up. Not probation, not treatment. Prison. That's a powerful statement.
I have one request from the court. I request the defendant be sentenced to state prison. Violence against public servants cannot be tolerated. And this is, thank you, regards, the complainant, registered nurse. Well, something happened there because I'm looking at restitution that.
Judge, and I know it says that, but like I say, I cannot ask for something I do not have a number of.
All right.
I can't just say generally ask for restitution. I'm looking to make sure in the file that there's nothing there.
Okay. Go ahead, David, on behalf of the defendant.
Let me give you a little bit more background on Ms. Horn, and I'm going to try to be brief. Ms. Horn has suffered from mental health problems, treatment, and services for many, many years. Starting back on page 4 under the substance abuse history, it shows basically that she has.
And here's where the defense strategy comes in. Paint a picture of a lifelong battle with drugs and mental health. The subtext: she's not evil, she's sick. But will the judge buy it?
Has been exposed and used alcohol, marijuana, just about every drug you can imagine, as well as synthetic marijuana during the time that she has been treated. This particular
Voluntary use.
I'm sorry.
Voluntary use of the substance.
I don't dispute that. It does not say, but I think it's in there, and I just want to make the court aware of it.
And you're not asserting she's incompetent or insane.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. I believe she is competent. I just wanted to make the court aware that she does have a history of this usage, although I don't have each individual time or where it was. Now, on this particular occasion, unfortunately, Ms. Horn was arrested and taken to the Baptist Hospital, Beaumont Neurological Center, where she was treated. And as the court is aware, that's where people that have mental and intellectual problems quite frequently are treated. Unfortunately, this is where the incident occurred. And again, trying to be brief, it shows that she was in pain and told the nurse, Ms. Storm, that she was in a great deal of pain and wanted a shot, and hit her, I believe it says 4 or 5 times. There was another Baptist Hospital employee who was present, who went in to help the nurse. They eventually took Miss Horn off the lady, but she did suffer the trauma and as a result of this violence. I mean, it's also clear that I believe from looking at this record and talking to Miss Horn's family, she has been in, I believe, 8 or 9 different mental health treatment facilities, including the Baptist Hospital Neurological Center. And it's one of those things that Ms. Horn is not saying that this didn't happen. She is not saying she is not guilty, but the fact that it did happen, she feels like she ought to pay restitution to Ms. Storm, the victim in this case, as well as the other individual who was not injured to as great a degree as I believe Ms. Storm was. And yet this is a situation where she didn't have the money, she cannot maintain employment, and doesn't have anywhere else to get the money to pay any of this restitution to Baptist Hospital as well as to the victim. And so I would ask the court to place her on either deferred adjudication or regular probation, and order as the primary service that she get employment and pay for this. She also has indicated that she will do anything she can to get help for her problem, whether that includes safety, MIP, anything, if she can just get it, because she's not been able to have any treatment for this problem during her recent history. And again, Judge, that's not, I'm not saying this very well, but again, I would ask that the court consider placing her on some type of supervision and not sending her to TDC. And at the appropriate time this morning, we'd like to
All right.
talk to the court too, but I'm not sure that's this time.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Judge, I really get upset when we start using restitution as a form of making us give somebody probation.
And boom, the prosecutor claps back. Translation: don't dangle restitution like a get-out-of-jail-free card. This is about punishment, not payment.
And that's just not going to happen in this case. You can see what the complaining witness went through. She did request $5,000 in restitution for lost wages, medical costs, and travel expenses that she had to do during this time. But you've heard that she can't pay that. The defendant cannot pay that. She can't hold a job. She doesn't have the money to do it. But look what she did to this woman. I mean, this is not like she just kicked out or just lashed out one time because she was angry or mentally ill. She wasn't getting her way. She punched this woman in the face, and as a direct result of the actions in page 2 on the complainant statement, As a direct result of this, the defendant punching me in the face numerous times, causing me to lose complete bladder control, sinus injuries, neck strain, depression, and anxiety. It will take time to heal and to adjust to my new normal in the hospital and a new department after she has dedicated numerous years to working with mental health patients. She said, I've dedicated the last 30 years of my life to caring for patients with complex medical and mental health issues, and this incident has taken away that vibrant spirit I once had. This totally changed her life and her career because this woman decided she wanted a shot instead of what they were doing for her, and she is not in charge. This victim is asking that this defendant be placed in prison, and I'm asking you to place her in prison because she's had numerous chances over the years, and you can see she's even had a probation for evading arrest where she got it revoked and was sentenced to 800 days in county jail. When is she supposed to have asked for help? When she's facing prison time? I think it's time to get her in a place where she can realize the severity of it and not blame everything on some thing she's been blaming it on for years and not getting any help for it. Striking one of our public servants that's out there just trying to help her and hurting her so severely and causing her this much anxiety and this much of a change in life. I think that it deserves more than just a walk out of here. It deserves some time in prison to where we know that she's not going to do it for a while and that she can appreciate the severity of what she did.
All right. Ms. Horn, did you want to say anything? This is your time.
I'm really sorry.
It is Jenna's plea for mercy. You can almost hear the desperation. But apologies in court, they only go so far when a victim's life has been turned upside down.
Yeah, I didn't mean to hit her or anything. I was going through something in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad time. I was freaking out.
Have anything to do with alcohol or drugs?
I'm a user, but it wasn't that. I felt betrayed. I have voices in my head, and I felt betrayed by her not giving me a shot.
Have you been a drug and alcohol user for any length of time? Is that an issue for you?
I had addiction. I was fiending for drugs at like 7, 8 years old. It's been passed down in my family, and I've been using.
It's been passed down like a gift?
No. It's hell.
No.
I don't want to do it anymore.
You-
I'm addicted.
Okay. Well, who caused you to use drugs and alcohol
My
at a
dad
young
was an
age?
alcoholic for 28 years.
Ma'am,
My dad was an alcoholic for 28 years.
what about drugs?
Yeah.
Where did you get drugs and alcohol from?
Anywhere.
Because the pre-sentence report is made a part of the record here.
Did she just admit she started using drugs at 8 years old? 8 years old? Let me ask you, do you see that as a cry for help or just another excuse?
And this states that for marijuana, you started at 8 years of age, marijuana, and last used March 26th, I guess, when you were arrested, and you have been using it daily. That's what you told the probation office. Alcohol, you started that at 8 years of age, and you used that weekly until 2 months before the pre-sentence report was prepared. Cocaine, you began cocaine at 15 and was a daily user of that. Methamphetamine, this one is one that I kind of asterisked. You began meth at 15 and your last usage was just a couple of months ago on a daily basis. Amphetamine, same thing, 15 years of age to March of 25. What are you, 34 now?
So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's almost 20 years, consistent daily use. Then, of course, there was LSD you used at 18, ecstasy at 18, mushrooms at 18, synthetic marijuana daily at 22 years of age. But how in the world can you not get some kind of have side effects from using controlled substances since you were for the last 25 years of your life, since you were 8 years of age? You don't think that's going to have adverse consequences? Of course it does. But it's terrible enough that you do that to yourself, and you probably were from what you're saying, you may have very well been in an environment where it was a child of 8 years of age, isn't at fault if it's from parents who had bad role modeling.
it wasn't.
How were you getting drugs at 8 years old, sweetheart?
I had a friend that were sisters.
Giving you marijuana and cocaine and methamphetamine? This is marijuana and alcohol at 8, and then cocaine and meth and amphetamines at 15 years of age. Methamphetamine and amphetamine you've been using for 20 years, it says, from 15 until last couple of months. This is terrible.
And there it is, the judge laying it out plain. 20 years of drug abuse, starting as a child. The question now isn't just about guilt. It's about whether society can risk letting Jenna walk free again. Verdict incoming.
Of course, that's going to lead you to a catastrophic end, and here we are in court. Oh, and it says your drug of choice is methamphetamine. What kind of, I wouldn't want that on my certificate of achievement. No, it's just terrible. It looks like you have a conviction here out of Jasper County, evading arrest or detention. You were placed on probation in 2015. Is that correct? And then that was revoked and you did 800 days in jail. It sounds like, I guess, but it's showing that's a conviction. Is that right, David?
Your Honor, I'm not sure, but it appears to be a revocation of probation, which she received.
Which is what this is
800 days in jail, which
Okay.
is
No, it looks like she got credit for time served because she spent 800 days in jail.
Okay.
well, whatever the time.
It's still a conviction.
It looks like you were on deferred or unadjudicated probation in 2015 for a controlled substance. Then there's something